America on the March. President Trump announced this month that the Gulf of Mexico is going to become the Gulf of America. Can Jimmy have some freedom fries with that?
Who controls the computer systems that decide if you get your tax refund, or disaster relief, or Medicare benefits? Elon Musk.
Republicans have turned in their game uniforms and become cheerleaders.
About a big, beautiful canal instead.
And we're taking it back.
Cheer for Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
We got a new sheriff in town.
Former Trump aide Anthony Scaramucci dropped this truth bomb. Melania hates Donald more than almost anyone else on the planet. Let that sink in. The former First Lady apparently detests her own husband, according to someone who worked closely with both of them. And now, after the Lincoln Project aired what insiders call a nuclear strike on Trump's ego, Melania reportedly erupted in fury. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what was in this devastating ad, why it hit the Trumps so hard, and how it exposed the apparent sham behind their marriage. The details are juicier than a well-done steak with ketchup. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Ever wonder what it takes to make the former president sweat through his makeup?
Trump's got it wrong. So does Elon Musk. We're not quitting. Americans from every walk of life, Democrats, Republicans, independents, wrong to cut deals with corrupt politicians, wrong to pardon terrorists, wrong to get in bed with Putin, wrong for an American president to call himself a king. They all know it's wrong to cut veterans' health care, wrong to cut FAA air traffic controllers, wrong to fire FBI agents for doing their jobs. We're in this fight till the end, till Trump's gone and America is free again. And nothing's going to change that.
Turns out it's a well-placed ad from his former allies, specifically the Lincoln Project, those Republican insiders who jumped ship from Trump Tower and now seem determined to sink it. These former GOP strategists created what insiders are calling a nuclear strike on Trump's ego, and boy, did they know exactly where to aim. Unlike most political ads that attack policies or voting records, this one went straight for Trump's fragile self-image, the political equivalent of pantsing someone at their high school reunion. The Lincoln Project didn't just blast this ad anywhere. No, these psychological warfare experts strategically placed it in DC, and here's the genius part, near Mar-a-Lago. They wanted to make absolutely sure Trump would see it with his own two eyes. It's like they were sliding a nasty note directly under his bathroom door while he was doom scrolling on the golden throne.
The Lincoln Project salutes Vice President Donald Trump. As Vice President, Trump will finally have the time to do the things that make him happiest. We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position. Elon is smarter, wealthier, more charismatic, has a far superior and more successful social media platform and company. Talk about old movies, playing on his phone, admiring the assets of other men. Meanwhile, President Musk can get down to the business of running the country.
What made this ad so devastating wasn't some new revelation about policy failures. It was much more personal, and that's why it worked. The ad cleverly portrayed Trump as Putin's useful fool, a puppet master relationship that Trump has always frantically denied. Nothing gets under his skin faster than suggesting he's being played rather than doing the playing. But the psychological masterminds at the Lincoln Project didn't stop there. They compiled what they called a greatest hits album of Trump's most embarrassing moments. Think of it as a highlight reel that no one wants played at their retirement party. Every gaffe, every awkward moment, every time reality didn't match the carefully constructed image he's built of himself as strong and successful. The true devastation of this ad came from who made it. These weren't just random Democrats or liberal media figures that Trump could easily dismiss. These were people who once supported him, people who know exactly where all his psychological bodies are buried. They know which buttons to push because they helped install the control panel.
Watching the power grab and illegality going on in Washington, it's easy to feel helpless, like there's nothing you can do.
Elon Musk, hailed for changing the way we drive, celebrated for sending rockets toward the stars.
The penalties for violation are civil and criminal. Elon Musk and his tech bros are not above the law, and a corrupt president has no ability to pardon state crimes.
Is using his power to do something unthinkable. He's slashing funding for life-saving medicine and science, shutting down cancer and Alzheimer's research, solutions for childhood diseases.
The ad creators turned Trump from the joke teller into the punchline. They called him a one-term, twice-impeached loser, hitting every point that contradicts his winner image. They mockingly referred to him as Daddy while highlighting his criminal convictions. For a man whose entire identity is built around never being laughed at, this was psychological kryptonite. According to sources close to Mar-a-Lago, Trump's reaction was exactly what the Lincoln Project had hoped for. When he first watched the ad, his face reportedly turned bright red, not the carefully applied makeup shade he prefers, but the genuine crimson of pure rage. Witnesses described him as visibly sweating, his carefully coiffed hair starting to wilt under the stress of being so thoroughly mocked.
You know, the White House is more than just a building. It's more than 18 acres of land in Washington, D.C.
It's the place where Americans look for leadership when the night is at its darkest and when the dawn breaks brightest.
It's a commitment to the Republic and to our sacred Constitution.
Unemployment is 98% under Joe Biden.
Best debate prep since Lincoln.
And a loaf of gasoline is $84 a pound.
What about schools, sir?
Let them eat bootstraps, okay?
Trump couldn't maintain his cool. The man who loves to project strength was reduced to sputtering anger, watching himself become the butt of the joke in real time. Sources say he was both angry and afraid, a dangerous combination for someone with such power. The criticisms hit harder because they came from people who once stood behind him, people who knew exactly where to stick the knife and how to twist it. What made this ad so much more effective than typical political attacks was its use of Trump's own words and actions against him. It's one thing to be criticized for your policies. It's another to watch yourself fumble and fail on screen while your former allies provide mocking commentary. The Lincoln Project essentially created a mirror that showed Trump exactly how others see him, rather than the funhouse reflection he prefers. The ad's creators knew precisely which psychological triggers would send Trump into a tailspin. Every aspect was calibrated to dismantle his carefully constructed image. When you've built your entire identity around being seen as a strong, successful winner, being portrayed as a puppet and a loser by people who once supported you is devastating. It's like finding out your high school yearbook was edited to replace most likely to succeed with most likely to be someone else's useful idiot. Trump's physical reaction told the whole story. Red-faced, sweating profusely, unable to control his anger as he watched himself become a laughingstock. For a man who measures his worth by public perception, this was a direct hit to his core. The Lincoln Project didn't just land a blow, they delivered exactly the kind of humiliation Trump fears most. And what's a marriage without a little space? Reports from Mar-a-Lago now reveal that Donnie and Melania are sleeping in separate bedrooms. So far apart, they need a golf cart to visit each other. Talk about a Cold War in paradise. This Slovenian volcano moment has created visible cracks in their gold-plated facade, with Trump responding the only way he knows how. All caps rants on Truth Social. Who knew a single ad could cause such domestic chaos? The Lincoln Project didn't just trigger political fallout. They exposed the paper-thin reality of Trump's personal life. With bedrooms now divided, the Trump empire might be crumbling from the inside out.